All right. Well, I'm gonna try to get this in before the draft tomorrow. It's April 23rd. Thursday's the draft tomorrow. Um, I'm using the stick to the model mock draft. I'm gonna do 7 rounds, and I'm gonna keep the speed low because I want to kind of go over what my thought process is here. I think the D line is maybe our biggest issue with Daquan Jones being as old as he is and didn't play that great last year. Didn't see him improving uh, next year and the year after. So we're going to need to replace him, I think, eventually. And somebody's going to have to play half the snaps uh, since you're not going to have Logue is not going to probably be a great option for us. I also think that edge is a priority. You have Bosa and Epinesa on last year's of their deal. Hoyt's out for the first 6 games. Solomon, we like what he could possibly do, so hopefully he does better. But you also never know about injuries with Bosa. And it's going to be good to have a guy that can come in next year with a year under his belt. You also got cornerback. Obviously, we had Trey White come in, uh, and we also brought in Dane Jackson. Uh, I think with bringing in White, I think they are hoping that he can win the starting job. Um, and we could bring in a young guy. Doesn't have to be in the first round. Uh, I think we could get a developmental cornerback if they think that White can get that second cornerback job. Um, I'm not saying we shouldn't take a cornerback in the first round, but I don't think that that would be something that would be a need. The other question I have with the D line is, does Bean, is he even going to entertain the idea of a bigger one tech nose tackle type guard like Kenneth Grant or Tyleek Williams? Um, Daquan Jones is only 320. We don't know uh, if he'd be open to it. I mean, I haven't seen him have that appetite for a larger D tackle, but I know a lot of the mocks are liking Kenneth Grant. I personally think that even though last year our run defense wasn't as bad as it has been in the past, we have had problems stopping the run. Didn't really have true run stopping power in that Daquan Jones. It seems like I would like to get a little bit more pressure, interior pressure, especially. Um, Maybe don't have to get sacks all the time, but interior pressure and someone that can take 2 blocks uh, off of a little bit of pressure off of Ed Oliver would be uh, really good. So I would like to see a bigger one tech style D tackle uh, over some of the lighter ones that we've had. Um, so those are the three that I think I prioritize there as the first 3 picks. We got to have a D line, edge, and a cornerback, depending on what you're wanting. I also think that we could use a wide receiver 5 here. I at least they could come in and compete. If you think Shavers or Virgil have a chance, even Hamler making that fifth wide receiver spot. Uh, I don't know. We'll I'm sure bring in at least one receiver for competition and see who wins that wide receiver 5 job. Um, Safety. I know a lot of national media think that we need safety. You're looking at Hamlin here as a starter on the draft, the Rlad's depth chart. I don't. I'm hoping Bishop steps up and can take the starting position, or Forrest, for that matter, over Hamlin, and Hamlin would continue to be the backup. Taylor Rapp, I love. He's just like a missile. Really love when he's on the field. I don't know why the national media is so down on him. Uh, and I'm hoping that Bishop takes a step up. But if they thought there was a a route for a safety to beat out Taylor Rapp and or Bishop, if they thought that, I wouldn't hate it. Um, but I don't see it as a priority. If we didn't come out with a safety after this draft, I wouldn't be upset. I really like Rapp and Bishop, which would I would hope end up being the starters, and I even think that Forrest has some potential there too. So uh, linebacker, obviously Milano cut his deal, so he's got the last uh, year on his deal. I think we would still use Dorian Williams if one of these guys get injured. Spector, always injured. I think that we uh, can bring in another linebacker to compete and be a be here ready and develop for when Milano, if he leaves after this year. Um, and also, you would need some depth there in case you wanted to let Spector walk and fill in a hole there for Milano. I like actually linebacker um, more than safety, to be honest. Um, but throughout doing some of these mocks, I see like a Kevin Winston sometimes, who I think is really good. If he drops late enough, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as we had our first three really high priority needs taken care of. Uh, but I do think I'm not as worried about as others. Uh, I think a tight end, a third tight end. We didn't bring back Quentin Morris. We got Zach Davidson penciled in there as the third tight end. I wouldn't be mad if we got a guy late round and have him compete and see who wins the job for that third tight end spot. I also wouldn't get mad if we brought in an offensive lineman, because you have Edwards on an expiring deal, McGovern's on an expiring deal. I think Torrance will be having. We'll have to have that conversation if we want to bring him back. He may be expensive. McGovern's not going to be cheap, uh, but I do like who we have in the pipeline with Van Pren Granger, who could possibly play guard for one of the guards if we weren't able to return them. Uh, we could bring back Edwards, I guess, if we needed to. We can keep Alec Anderson as that swing tackle. I think Grable looks good. He may be able to be a guard and or fill in tackle. Hopefully, he stays healthy this year, and obviously Vandermark as well. He's always been decent for us in a filling in, but there's nothing wrong with bringing in a guy, uh, another guy. Even though this Kendrick Green, we brought him in, and we got some other things here. I'm sure that they're going to bring in at least one, just to kind of keep in the pipeline and for competition. So, what I want to look for here in the first three picks is the D line, edge, and cornerback. I don't think the edge is as much of a need. I think it's more like D line as the primary, and then you've got an edge and cornerback. You kind of see what you can get. I would like some quality guys there, but we kind of see how the value drops. So when I do this here, obviously you're going to look here if you really want that Kenneth Grant, okay, and you're gonna watch here at around, I would say 20ish, Tampa Bay, Denver, Pittsburgh. You know, you're hoping Pittsburgh takes a Shedeur Sanders, and then this Chargers. You know, they might take that tight end. You might start looking here at Green Bay and Minnesota. I know Minnesota doesn't have as many picks. That would be a good spot if you really liked Grant. You're going to have to give up in this Rich Hill trade points about 40. I would think 40 to 45 points. That would mean something like this fourth round pick, and then two. I would like to give up a couple of these late picks because I don't think these guys would even make the team anyway. We got 10 picks. I'd like to get rid of 2 or 3 of them to move up. You could give up this one and this one for 16, plus your 4 here would be 20, plus your 18 here would be 38. I wouldn't mind giving up a 7th round from next year as well. That would maybe get you up from here to from 30 to 24 at Minnesota. If you really wanted Grant, that's what it was gonna. That's what it would cost you. I think you obviously would watch if you would be happy with Harmon or Grant. You can watch, and as soon as one of them goes, well, then you could try to get the trade for the next available spot. Um, you could wait at 30, and I think try to move back if you can. If one of those Giants or Cleveland want to move up to get the quarterback, if they pass on them here early, I would definitely love to move back a tad if Grant were not to slip to 30. And then you would be looking at like a Tyleek Williams, but then I would want to get one of those, use that 30 pick in here to get a cornerback, okay, out of Amos, Hairston, Revel, who I really like. I think would be great for us, especially if you think Trey White can win that second quarterback job. You can bring in Revel slowly and ease him in, and possibly be the cornerback 2 for next year with all that physical talent that he's got. That would be something that I would like. I would also like to move this 56 up, okay, if we didn't do the trade up for Grant, and try to get here in the 40s, which would cost about the same. All right. Plus, if we would get some capital for moving back, it wouldn't be quite so bad, and still get Tyleek Williams in here. So we would get like that cornerback and a Tyleek Williams, and then your best edge that slips to you at 62, unless you want to move up. So depending on what you want to do. I like Grant. I don't know if I like it enough to go up to 24. I think another spot would be the Rams at 26. It would be actually a lot more palatable there. You got 27 points, which means you'd only have to give up like 9 and 17 and 25, 29. You could give up these last 4 picks here and bump up there if you really wanted Grant. I mean, if you really wanted Grant, that's what's the difference between Grant and Tyleek Williams, right? You're going to have a Grant, and you're going to have a, look at the cornerback. You're not going to be able to get that cornerback up here. I think we might get better value with trading back if we can to the early second round, kind of like what we did with Keon Coleman last year, and taking your cornerback and then trying to move up and get Tyleek Williams as well. Would be the end of the world if you didn't get Tyleek Williams. I guess they could go get like a Farmer or one of these guys that they looked at. So I guess I want to do this first one. I want to show how we could maybe move up for Grant and kind of see how the board falls from there. If we move up for Grant, then I think we would settle with a Porter cornerback. Uh, um, and an edge. Actually, the edge would be the pick. I think I like some edges there that are around the 60s. So we would look at uh, maybe trying to see which cornerback drops to us at 56. Also, we might be able to move back a little bit more depending on who's staying, who's drifting down. So let's first watch and try to trade for Kenneth Grant and see what kind of looks that we get. So I'm gonna check that. I got the slow speed. So we're going to start this, and I'm going to start pausing it at around 24, just to kind of see. We're looking for Harmon or Grant. I don't want Nolan. He's a little light. And with the questionable motor, I don't know if I'm. So there goes Nolan and Harmon. Here's that Minnesota uh, pick, like I thought would be there. 237 means we're going to need about 40 points. So let's see if we can. If you really want Grant, I think you're going to have to guarantee get up there. I want to get rid of that 7 from next year. I also want to get rid of some of these. Maybe we'll get rid of a 6 too. They're still light. I don't like that Minnesota pick as much. But if you want to get Grant, that's what you're going to have to do. That's 40 something points. Well, what if we did that one there, 7th rounder, and then these few here? That's an even trade, 237 to 237. Let's see. Yeah, they're not going to take that. Let's go ahead and run it. 2 more to the Rams. Okay, the Rams are at 26. We're going to have a little bit better chance there. I think we don't have to give up as much. That's actually, I want to give up the 7th rounder. And let's go one more. It's 227. Our value, we're overpaying. And they rejected it. So if I really wanted to get him, I could overpay a little bit more. Looks like the Rams don't need a D tackle. So let's run it one more and then try. Okay, so now we can go with Baltimore. Maybe Baltimore will do it. They'll take that. That's a 219 to 216. Let's see. Hopefully they'll take it. Okay, there. Baltimore takes it. Now we can get our Grant. This is what you're going to have to do, I think, if you want Grant. That's going to take some draft capital. So that means we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks left. I think that's plenty. We also could look to move down. We're not going to get one of those really high cornerbacks that we wanted. But there's that Porter that I thought would drop. We also have Princely, Uman Mielen, I like him. I also like Oladejo. I like Josiah Stewart, and they apparently like Jacob Parrish. So there's some good stuff here later in a little bit. I want to see if we can trade back and get some capital back. So here's a 57, a 58, and a 64. I want this 58. It looks like it's a future 3rd round pick. So I think we can use that 3rd round pick to maybe move back up. I don't want to do too much in the future. I want to get up here. This is a good deal. And I'm going to use that our 3rd round pick maybe to move up in to get into the 3rd round this round maybe. So let's accept that. We're only moving back a few. and I still think we're going to have some really nice players left for us. We still got the cornerback Porter, and we still got 4 edges. Five. There's a bunch of players here. I'm going to keep moving down a tad. Well, this is 64, so that's a little bit further back than we want to go. Maybe. Let's see, what pick are we on right now? Well, that's not too bad. We still got 62 coming up, so I want to go ahead and get greedy here. Uh, I'm going to guess and hope that Porter will still be there at 62, and I'll grab him, and then we'll see what edge falls to us. There's still plenty good ones. I like Birch and Oladejo and Josiah Stewart. I still would be happy with Parrish. So let's trade back again if we can. Let's take this 64. We get another future third round pick. Let's accept that. And we're doing good here. This is Porter is still there. When's my next pick? 62 and 64. So I have almost back to back. So let's take our Porter, okay? He is big boy, fast, high RAS. He's developing. He's a new cornerback. I think with the Trey White thing, let's take him, give him a chance to learn. I'll take the best edge available here after that pick. And Princely's there. Like him. Birch, if you want a little bit bigger guy, he's bigger there. This Josiah Stewart, they say he's a dog. I wouldn't mind him at all. And this guy here, Oladejo, who just moved to the position. I know that the Bills like him. I think they brought him in. I mean, if you thought, could maybe move back again a couple of spots. Cleveland, why not? 4th rounder. We're moving back 3 spots. I'll take it. It's probably, I mean, in real life, maybe not work, but let's go ahead and take our Oladejo, okay? And let it run. So now we've got our 3 biggest priorities. We've got some good picks coming up. I want to actually trade. I want to pause here because I want to make sure we get a couple of these guys that we targeted. I think, where was my little list here? The wide receiver and linebacker. We want these. So what I'm looking for here is a Torrey Horton and a Pooh Paul here. So we're going to need to get into the early 90s for these 2 picks. So I'm going to take my picks. What pick is it right now? It's 85. Let's wait a little bit longer here. And there's 90. Oh, there goes Demetrius Knight. So let's wait just a couple more. All right, let's see here. Let's get in here with Minnesota. Okay, they probably want some picks. Let's do them. Let's take their 97 for our 132, and I want to take what we earned here, this 4th rounder, 6th rounder, and let's go ahead and do 5th rounder. Well, let's do a 5th. Let's do a. This is a pretty good jump up. This is the 4th rounder that we got in a trade for moving back. So it's not going to cost us. We'll still have a 4th rounder. And let's do this one here. It's rejected. I don't know why. We way overpaid. Let's see a Philly. We'll take this pick here, that pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll give away. our 4 and our 3rd. That's way over. They don't have anything. 134. I don't want that back. I mean, let's see what happens there. Oh, eh. All right. So there's that. So we have a 96 and a 109. I'm not sure I'm not sure 109. Let's see. Let's watch our linebacker and our wide receiver, and a I think Torrey Horton's going to go first, so I'm going to take him now, and hopefully we'll be able to move up a couple here. Let's trade to get 100. Let's see how much this costs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try that. Okay. Now we can get our Poopall, who we seem to like. And there goes our wide receiver and linebacker, who we really like. Now we got the last 2 picks, safety, tight end, O-line. Let's look and see who falls. Safety. We'll take any O-line or tight end. We don't really need to. Okay, so everybody is saying they want their safety. Let's go ahead and take Jalen Reed. We'll see how he does. Be able to play. Now we want to look at possibly a tight end or an offensive lineman. We'll just take the best looking. So Rondé Gadsden. I mean, I remember his dad. Let's take this guy, Chase Lunt. Not that athletic, but he's big. We like those big tackles, so let's take him. And so here is our recap here. No, let's see. 256. We got to wait through that. I wonder if there's a way I can speed this up. Remember, this is what it looks like if you want Kenneth Grant. I think you go up there, get him. You know you're going to have your cornerback that's going to be maybe a developmental guy or a guy that won't need to start right away, because hopefully you got the Trey White and the Dane Jackson there. We'll see what happens there. So let me see here. Your picks. So we got our edge. He doesn't need to start right away. He can learn behind who we got. We're going to want Kenneth Grant playing half the snaps. He's going to play right away. Poopall, I know we wanted a linebacker there to get in there and compete, and I love Torrey Horton. He's one of my favorite receivers in this draft, especially at that position. So he's got speed. He's big. He may battle Keon Coleman for a spot. I don't know. Or we'll see how he does. Jalen Reed, get in there. So I'm going to end this video, and we'll see how it works.